Today I'm in Salem, Massachusetts, interviewing people about Harry Potter, or so they think.
If you went to Hogwarts, what house would you be in?
Hufflepuff.
I'm a Hufflepuff.
Just immediate Hufflepuff. That's the one I've always felt closest to. That's the one who's always fit me. On Pottermore, that's what I get every time. I am a true Hufflepuff.
I'm a Gryffindor, for sure.
Nice, high five.
Yes.
How about you?
Slytherin, so yeah.
So why are you, I'm sorry. What are the main values that Hufflepuffs embody?
Loyalty, compassion. I know there's more.
I can't digest lactose. I'm a Hufflepuff.
I mean, obviously, courage and bravery is going to be the biggest thing, but I mean, you look at Harry Potter and they do like crazy stuff, but just like normal acts of bravery, I think, are really big, and doing things that you're afraid of. So
Nice.
that's for me. Yeah.
And why did you pick Slytherin?
I don't know that I picked Slytherin so much as I continue to be sorted into Slytherin. Yes.
Who's your favorite character?
It is a tie between Luna and Newt. I love Luna to death because Luna is me. We're the weirdos that just don't make sense, but like in the end you're like, you know what, I like talking to her. She was kind of cool.
I really like Dumbledore and Sirius Black, so I was going to actually read a few quotes from them and just kind of get your take.
Soon we must all face the choice between what is right and what is easy.
I love that quote, and that actually is something that that's one of the quotes that I've chosen to live by, because sometimes the right choice isn't always the easy one. Like, you could always just lay down and say, nope, we're just gonna leave it be, but the right choice is almost always you need to stand up, you need to fight for what you believe in.
It's hard as you get older because I think a lot of things get really complicated, but I mean, with everything that like happened in 2020 and in like obviously the current kind of state of affairs, I mean, yeah, you kind of take a stand, and I think that's really difficult, especially when people who are close to you might have different views, and then it gets really hard, but you kind of just have to do it and know who you want to be.
It takes a great deal of bravery to stand up to your enemies, but a great deal more to stand up to your friends.
It would be easier to just kind of sit back and not fight against injustice, but, you know, we can look throughout history and see that these injustices have always happened, and it takes the people who fight against them to really make a change. All right, so next quote is from Sirius Black.
If you want to know what a man's like, take a good look at how he treats his inferiors, not his equals.
That is absolutely true. You look at, people in high positions of power, and you never do want to look at the people, how they're treating people of their own stature, because, it's very telling to see how a rich person treats a poor person. Yeah. Like, if you didn't have your money, who would you be as a person? Yeah.
I really agree with that, definitely. I think especially in like professional settings and stuff too, you can really tell the tone that's set for the way that things operate by kind of the way that managers and stuff treat people. I think that's for sure.
One of the cool things about that quote too is I feel like with Sirius, he says that quote, but then he treats his house elf very, very, very poorly. So I think that also kind of goes to show you like he can have these great ideals and like something that really resonates with you, but if your actions don't really back it up, then it's kind of like, okay.
So I kind of want to talk about kind of the ways that humans treat animals in our world. What do you think about that?
It's pretty harrowing. It's pretty just the fact that someone could run over a dog and next to nothing happens. They're like, oh well, it's a dog. It doesn't matter. It's like, that's a living being with thoughts, and they have every right to live as much as we do.
I think with the younger generations, I think it's gotten a lot better. I think younger people are a lot more outspoken when they see animals or really anyone being treated poorly. So I think we're getting better, but there's definitely still a lot of room for improvement. I mean, especially in like the food realm and how animals who are essentially slaughtered to make food, like how they're kept before that and everything. Like it's man, I've watched some pretty crazy documentaries on it. It's not pretty.
What about instead of dogs, like pigs or cows? Do they have inherent moral worth?
See, that's where it gets, because I am a meat eater. Okay. It's just something I try not to think about. But yeah. yes, they do, and it's always so hard being a meat eater because like that animal was alive, and it hurts, and it's made me consider possibly becoming vegetarian or vegan, but at the same time it's like they do, but it's tough.
Do you think it's bad what we do to animals in the food industry?
I would say so, yes, absolutely.
Yes, I would, yeah.
Do you think as humans, do we need to like eat animal products to survive and thrive?
I don't think there's necessarily a need for it, because I mean, I was actually talking to my dad about this the other day, but like even people who hunt still, I'm like, before you would do it for food and like I could kind of get behind you, like, you know, you have to do it for survival, but at this point, I mean, that's not necessary. We don't need to do that, so I don't know why people still continue to do it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I eat meat, so I can't really say like, you know, but if I have to like really look at it, like I would say, yeah, it's not necessary.
Do you think the animals in the meat and dairy industries, do you think they're abused?
Some of them definitely are. I do know that there are cruelty-free farms, and I do know that there are the exceptions. But I think all in all, yeah, they probably are. They probably are not getting the best care in the world.
Yeah, it's interesting you said about being a meat eater, because, you know, I ate meat for most of my life and I kind of didn't want to think about it. And then when I really sat down and like looked at what was going on in the industry, I thought maybe some farms were bad, but maybe some were okay. Yeah. But 99% of meat and dairy come from factory farms, so we could probably agree those are bad. Absolutely. And then when I really thought about it, I thought, like, you know, even if there's an animal on a farm and that animal is happy, at some point you have to say, like, all right, that's enough happiness for you. So do you think that's fair to the animals?
Absolutely not. I don't. Jeez. you never think of it like that,
I know.
but yeah, it's they absolutely deserve better.
For me, the main reason that I would eat meat and dairy was kind of for the enjoyment of it, like the taste and the convenience. Is that kind of the reasons for you?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I do like the way it tastes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it tastes really good. Like, I think we could all say that. But I'm curious, like, do you think the taste is like a sensory pleasure, right? Right. Do you think sensory pleasure can justify violence toward a victim?
Oh, man.
No. No.
You said you had thought about being vegan or vegetarian. I'm curious what's holding you back from that.
I do enjoy. Honestly, I guess I just don't want to change, I guess.
So we kind of started this interview saying we must all face the choice between what is right and what is easy. Do you think, even if it's a little harder to be vegan, do you think that it's the right thing to do, keeping in mind that animals, like you said, are individuals and feel pain and that kind of thing?
May I ask you a question? Yes. Are you a vegan YouTuber?
You're a vegan YouTuber.
Harry.
Even just like referring to like beef as beef rather than cow, and kind of having that separation, I think really, and I would wonder if, you know, things were different, like if that taste sensation would be altered by like having that more present.
Yeah. Like if you, before you bought like a burger, if you had to watch the cow be slaughtered, like, do you think you would buy it?
Oh no,
exactly.
I don't
Like,
think
then
I
what
ever
does that taste
could.
like?
I can't watch those like documentaries about that. It just hurts. I can't do it.
I'm curious, do you think like if you can't watch this stuff, is it fair to pay for animals to go through it?
I know the answer. It is no, absolutely not. But I
have not found avoiding these products to be that inconvenient, but there are situations where it is more inconvenient. Do you think convenience is a good reason to continue like paying for animals to be harmed?
I mean, no. I mean, I think obviously like it is a lot more convenient now than it was like in previous years to find like different, like you said, like impossible meat. Like you go to any grocery store nowadays and like it's there, you know, among the selection. So it's pretty easy to get those products if you know what to look for.
What do you think is more important, taste pleasure or animals' lives?
Animals' lives, obviously. I feel like I'm kind of getting cornered here.
I want to read one more quote by Dumbledore.
It is not our abilities that show what we truly are. It is our choices.
Yeah, I think so. I think it kind of goes both ways. People who have a lot of power often get to make really big choices. And I mean, you kind of see it a lot with history, right? I mean, whatever way you kind of make that choice is going to pave the way for what happens in the future. So I feel like, but even people who, you know, don't have political power or whatever in everyday interactions with people. Like, you can choose to treat someone with kindness, or you can choose to kind of be a dick.
I think it's important to remember that every day we have this choice. We can choose for animals to be exploited on our behalf, or we can choose to not do that. And that's what it is at the end of the day. So one last question. If you could live a life where you intentionally harmed humans, intentionally harmed animals, or neither, what would you choose?
I would prefer neither. I don't want any humans or animals to get hurt. I do agree.
Neither.
Neither. Yeah.
You have that choice every day.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching today. Please hit that like button, and if you want to see another video, click to your left. Special thanks to my morally superior patrons, Amy, Andy, Deepak, Rebecca, and Steven.